Good morning, boys and girls. So this week we are going to be talking about subtracting whole numbers. And I know that you did that last year in third grade, but of course, you know, in fourth grade, we're going to get bigger numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out by showing you a video before we go into the book. So hold on one second. Okay, so here's the video that we're going to watch before we get into our lesson.
Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about subtraction with two-digit numbers and regrouping. So let's get started and look at a real subtraction problem. Let's say that we've got the number 42 minus 25. Now before we get started, let's make a drawing of the number 42 so that it's a little easier to see what we're doing. So if we want to draw the number 42, how many tens are there? There are 4 tens, so let's draw them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And how many ones have we got? There are 2 ones, so let's bring in 1, 2 ones. So that's the number 42 drawn with the blue squares, and we're ready to subtract or take away 25. Now the first thing we want to do is subtract our ones, but right away we're going to notice that we've got a problem. We can't do 2 minus 5. We don't have enough ones at the top. We can't take away 5 ones from 2 ones. So where are we going to get some more ones? Well, the answer is we're going to go over to our tens. We're going to take one of our tens right here, and we're going to do something called regrouping. We're going to turn this one group of tens into a group of 10 ones. Then we're going to bring those 10 ones over to our other ones. This is still the number 42, but we've just regrouped so that we can do our subtraction. Now let's show our regrouping with our numbers. We don't have 4 tens anymore. We've got 3 tens. And we don't have 2 ones anymore. We've got 12 ones. Now we have enough ones to do our subtraction. What is 12 minus 5? Well, let's take away 5 ones from our drawing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we can see that we have 7 left. Now let's move over to our tens and we take away 2 tens. 1, 2, and we have just 1 10. So the answer to our subtraction problem is 17. All right, so let's see if we can do another problem like this without the drawing. Let's do, for example, 63 minus 37. First thing we do is look at our ones. Can we do 3 minus 7? No, we can't. So we need to get more ones from our tens. We're going to regroup one of our tens by taking away one of them so that we'll have just 5 left. Then we're moving that 10 over to our ones so that instead of 3 ones, we have 13 ones. Now we can subtract our ones. What is 13 minus 7? 13 minus 7 is 6. So we write that down in our ones column. Then we subtract our tens. What is 5 minus 3? Easy. 5 minus 3 is 2. And now we know that our answer is 26. And that is subtraction with two-digit numbers and regrouping.
Okay, so again, I know that you guys talked about regrouping last year, and this process will help you out in fourth grade when we are going to subtract larger numbers. Okay, so if you turn to math book, page 93, and I'll wait for a few seconds while you get there. You can always pause the video and come back to it. All right, so I'm thinking that you're back at page 93. So subtraction of whole numbers is very similar to addition of whole numbers because you might have to regroup. All right, so let's see what does this mean. So example 1, the Trevino family is moving to a new city. They have driven 957 miles out of the 3,214 miles that they need to drive. How many more miles do they need to drive? All right, well, first of all, here's a key word here. Whenever you see how many more of something, that's telling you it is a subtraction problem. All right, in fourth grade, you're going to start seeing lots and lots of word problems, and you have to really read the words to think, what are they asking me to do? Okay, so I know that the entire trip is 3,214 miles. and I know that they've driven 957 miles. I need to figure out how many more miles do they need to drive. All right, so the first thing you need to do, this is your problem. It's find 3,214 minus 957. First thing you need to do, boys and girls, is stack it up. All right, you want to make sure, again, with math, that you're nice and neat and that you're lining your place values up. So I have 3,214 minus 957. Okay, so when you're subtracting, you always start on the right-hand column, which is your ones. And you have 4 minus 7. Well, we know we can't do 4 minus 7. Your top number must be bigger than the bottom number. So we're going to look at step 1. So we're going to regroup a 10 as 10 ones. So that means I'm going to take this one group of 10. Okay, if I'm going to take it from there, then I need to make sure that you put a 0 there. And that one group of 10 ones becomes 10 ones plus 4 ones equals 14 ones. So I can cross this out and make that 14. And we know, and again, guys, I'm sorry this is slow. All right, so 14 minus 7 is 7. And that's all that we did there. That was super easy. Okay, now our ones place column is done, so now we need to go to our tens. Well, I now have 0 minus 5. I can't do it. So what I need to do is I need to go to my hundreds place value, take one of them, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to regroup it, the 100, as 10 tens. Okay, so if I have 10 tens plus 0 tens, then I have 10 tens. All right, and we know that 10 minus 5 is 5. All right, and guys, when you're doing subtraction, you're not going to be doing all this words over here, but it's just to help you understand what we're doing. All right, so I've done my ones place value. I've done my tens place value. Now I'm at my hundreds. Well, I've got 1 minus 9. Again, can't do it. So what do? Well, we need to go to the thousands, and we're going to take one of them and regroup it as 10 hundredths. So if I take one there, okay, so I'm going to regroup 1,000 as 10 hundredths, and I'm going to put that into my hundreds column where I already have one group of hundreds. So that means I have 11 hundredths. And if I take 11 hundredths minus 9 hundredths, that means I have 2 hundredths. And again, I'll put that down here. All right, still not done. And then 2 in the thousand column minus nothing is 2. So your answer should be 2,257. All right, so that means that they still have 2,000, and I know this isn't going to fit on the line, guys, 2,257 more miles to go. I don't know if I would want to be sitting in that car. That's a long drive. All right, okay, so let's turn the page. All right, so up at the top of page 94, we have the minuend is the first number in a subtraction sentence, from which a second number is to be subtracted. Subtrahend is the number that is subtracted. Okay, so here's my example. This band has raised $1,345 toward new equipment. If the goal is to raise $4,275, how much money must still be raised? All right, so the first thing they're doing is they're going to estimate before they do the actual answer. And again, when you estimate, it's going to help you decide when you actually do the real problem if you're close. Okay, so they're going to round 4,275 and they're going to round it to the hundreds. So $4,275 becomes $4,300. $1,345, again rounding to the hundreds, is going to become 1,300. And if they subtract 4,300 from 1,300, their answer is about $3,000. But up in this word problem, we need to know the exact number, okay? So now we're going to do the subtraction and make sure that we're close to this. So again, first thing you know is you need to set up your problem. 4,275 minus 1,345. Again, boys and girls, making sure you're neat and you line up your place values. All right, so let's start with our ones. Well, 5 minus 5, that's 0. That's easy. Okay. 7 minus 4, well, 7 minus 4 is 3. So far, pretty easy, right? We haven't had to regroup anything. Here's where it's going to get difficult. 2 minus 3, well, we can't do. So that means we need to go to the thousands place, and we're going to regroup one of the thousands. So I'm going to take 1,000 from there. I'm going to regroup that as 10 hundredths. So if I have 10 hundredths plus 2 hundredths, I have 12 hundredths. All right, and then when I do my subtraction, 12 minus 3, what do you think? It's 9. That's a bad 9, sorry. And then 3 minus 1 is 2. So the actual answer is $2,930. Is that close to our estimate? It is. So then you can be assured that your actual problem is correct. Okay. And again, guys, when we are taking one from here, we're just regrouping it. Okay. It's still the same numbers. We're just making it look different. All right. So that was checking for reasonableness. Pretty easy. Okay. So we are still on page 94 and we're going to do the guided practice. So here we have two problems that we need to do. We have 2,962 minus 845. Again, be nice and neat and make sure your place value lines up. Well, I have 2 minus 5. Well, you know we can't do it. So I need to go to the tens. I'm going to regroup one of their tens. So if I take one from there, it's going to be 5. And that one group of 10 I took is actually 10 ones. Well, if I have 10 ones plus 2 ones, I now have 12 ones. And if I do 12 minus 5, I have 7. Now I'm into my tens column. 5 minus 4 is 1. That's easy. 9 minus 8 is 1. And then 2 minus nothing is 2. So when I subtract 2,962 minus 845, I will get an answer of 2,117. And guys, all this up here is just regrouping. Okay, on the second problem, I have $4,785 minus 2,293. I want you to pause the video and I want you to try to do this yourself. And when you're done, come back to the video and see if your answer is correct. All right, I'm going to pause the video. Okay, let's see if you're right. So, once again, you're being nice and neat, and you're lining up your place value. Well, 5 minus 3, that's easy, that's 2. Now, in my tens column, 8 tens minus 9 tens, I can't do 8 minus 10. So I have to go over to my hundreds column, and I'm going to take one of my hundreds and regroup it into my tens. So if I take one of these, that becomes 6. And I'm going to take that and make it 10 tens. Well, if I have 10 tens plus 8 tens, I have 18 tens. Well, if I take 18 tens minus 9 tens, then I have 9. Now up in my hundreds column, I have 6 hundredths minus 2 hundredths, which is 400. And then 4 in my thousands, if I have 4 thousands minus 2,000, well, I have 2,000. Don't forget your comma. And we're talking about money. You have to make sure you put that dollar sign. So if you had done the problem and you said that the answer was $2,492, awesome. boys and girls, what I will tell you right now, the most important things when you're regrouping is you want to be neat. If you don't add this here, or if you don't cross this out and change it, you're going to forget about it. All right. I know I do it when I'm trying to be real fast, and you don't want to get in the habit of doing that with math. You want to go slow, you want to be neat, and line up your columns. All right. Math is not a time that you want to take shortcuts. All right, so you're going to work on the next couple pages based on what your teacher wants you to do. All right, boys and girls, have fun subtracting. I personally love it.